Hello, welcome to the Michael Maloney Show. I'm your host, Michael Maloney. Today we are recording episode 2. Tonight, Jared Cunningham is with me again. What's up, Jared? How are you, brother?
How's it going, Mike? I'm super excited about number two, about what we're going to discuss today, guys. So stay tuned.
Heck yeah. No, it's nice to be back. It's crazy that week went by super fast. I don't know if it was I was busy or what, but today it's going to be another pretty short episode, but just wanted to get on and talk about self-improvement. After all, this podcast is all about self-growth and progress, and I just kind of want to touch on why we're doing it and the importance of constantly seeking self-improvement. Life goes so fast, and it's very easy for outside external pressures to come into our lives and affect the way we think, and boom, just like that, you have a couple beers and you wake up the next day, you're hungover, whatever, you just get out of rhythm, and it's just easy to feel like you lost all your progress, and that's not the way self-improvement is. I've seen pictures of it, like where someone will draw a line and show success. People think success starts here and goes straight up, whereas it really goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And one of the favorite pictures I ever saw illustrating that was the one going up and down, and then there was like a lake in the middle of one of the up and downs, and then there was a dude in a boat floating across it, and it's like that guy in the boat floating across didn't feel like he was getting anywhere that whole time, but it's just understanding that growth doesn't happen overnight, and a lot of where growth comes from is from learning through the process of seeking your goal. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is when you set yourself up to try to fulfill or try to accomplish something, don't get discouraged when all of a sudden you lose traction, because if you step back and look at why you're maybe losing traction, or if you think about what you did or what external factors are affecting you, it'll allow you to adjust and gain traction. Or maybe you don't gain traction, then you learn you shouldn't be selling ketchup popsicles, or you adjust and all of a sudden you get some momentum, and boom, next thing you know, your phone won't stop ringing. I mean, that's what happened to me in one of my companies, the landscaping company. I can remember I had a goal. I wanted to create something great. I wanted to get all these customers, but it didn't happen at first. With any business, it takes some time to build some brand recognition. So I was so motivated. I was so upbeat about it. And then I would put in a bid for a apartment complex per se. Let's say we were doing lawn care, snow removal, put in an estimate for it, and it wouldn't come back. Well, then I would be like, I would just get so down, and because I was so excited about that opportunity, and then maybe I wouldn't win it, and then I would get down, but then I would get another opportunity. Well, what happened is I learned from why I didn't. I learned from not getting that account. Okay, so there were things that I learned from that allowed me to apply the new tactics, or my learned tactics, towards the next opportunity, and then I started to build momentum, and one account on top of another account on top of another account turned into something that I could see and was revenue, which started to give me confidence, which allowed me to stay up more often, and then next thing you know, I was succeeding. But at the end of the day, self-improvement, it's such a broad term, but self-improvement to me is most easily defined as the constant desire to grow, to progress as a person. And it's not always easy, but it's necessary. Like we talked about on that first episode, life is only so long. And it sounds so cliche. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Life is only so long. Every single day, like if you've made a big calendar of, like, let's say you were lucky enough to live to 85. If you put a calendar out, I mean, every single day you're checking off one, a day off of your life. And yeah, thankfully, because of medicine and the place we are as humanity, life is pretty secure. But at the same time, people are dying all the time unexpectedly. And so it's got to be a constant approach. It's not striving for perfection. It's not trying to be the best of the best of the best. It's about striving to be better, striving for progress. Progress brings happiness. Humans love progress. When a person starts to work out and they get all motivated. Yeah, New Year's coming up. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna lose all this weight, and they get all motivated because they start to think about what they would get if they succeeded, and then they start to do what they set out to do, working out or whatever, and they don't get results right away. They don't get that progress, and without the progress, they start to fizzle out, and next thing you know, they never got into the habit of working out. And so I think another big part of success, or I'm sorry, self-improvement and success, I guess, is just keeping your eyes down the road, down the runway. So let me give a quick analogy. So right now I'm I'm studying to get my pilot's license, my private pilot's license. And we've been doing a lot of landings, practicing landings, takeoffs. And the last couple, before my last landing, 2 landings before that, the last 3 landings, I've been having this tendency to come down, and when I get down to the ground, or when I get close to touching ground, like let's say probably 20 feet above the runway, instead of just coasting down a little bit farther and then slowly pulling up, I pull up too soon, which causes the plane to start to come up, which loses speed, and then it stalls, and then it almost falls down faster than it should, okay? Well, the reason why that is because I was focusing on the beginning of the runway. So as I got down there, I started to get close, and boom, go down too fast. So this last time, my CFI, certified flight instructor, he was like, hey, when before you land, focus on the end of the runway. Look way down there. And I did that, and because I was looking way far out, I slowly coasted down, and a lot more relaxed, just hit the runway and had a perfect, immaculate landing. And it was like, oh my gosh, just focusing farther out, and I just think that it stuck in my head. I was literally right after landing, I'm like, that is a great analogy for success and self-improvement. It's not going to happen overnight. But yeah, guys, I have always been rather internally motivated, okay? So I've always wanted to improve myself, but I've, like everyone mostly, I've kind of always fallen off that path. So I'm really excited to continue to work with everyone on this podcast and try to bring up some great pointers and stories and just different analogies that'll help people stay motivated and try to continue on the course of self-improvement. It's okay to fall off. It really is. You just got to hop right back on. And the reason why I think self-improvement, another great reason that I think self-improvement is so important, is because you need, here, the quote on my phone right now, you can't read it, but it says, set a goal so big that you can't achieve it until you grow into the person who can. Okay? So the next little thing I want to talk about is success, right? So when you define, success is different for every single person. Jared, what would you say success is for you? Or like, how would you classify success? Or if you had a successful life, what would let me ask you this, a more specific question. If you were on your deathbed, looking back at your life, what would a successful life be?
Oh man, that's a that's a good question. I would definitely think it would be something that everything that I would want to do in life would have been done.
So, like, what do you mean everything that you would want to do?
All my goals in life that I would want to be accomplished. Like have a wonderful marriage, be able to fly an airplane, being a millionaire, having not just one but many successful businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely what I would probably look on.
See, and I can relate. I mean, I'm right there with you. I mean, and not listing them in order of importance either, but like to have and you did it great. I mean, fulfilling relationship, a great marriage. You know, for me, you know, to have kids that respect me and are respectable to other people, go out of their way to help people. You know, they're also internally motivated to live a life where I'm fulfilled through helping others. I mean, that's once again, like, the point here is everyone is different. Like, there's people out there, and they're not wrong at all for being this way, that a successful life to them is, you know, to make 40 grand a year, to maybe not get married, just to live in a trailer in a trailer park on a beach in California, or whatever. I mean, it can be whatever you want. But the trick here is defining it, because if you don't have a target to aim at, you're never gonna hit it, you know? And this is where self-improvement and success go hand in hand, because if you define your success, which in a way is like a goal, right? Like, I want to create a company that motivates people, okay? So my success is I want to create a company that motivates people. Self-improvement comes in because I can't do that task of motivating people or even creating a business unless I work on myself. How am I supposed to inspire other people to improve their lives when I'm not even happy with my own life, or I can't even speak from experience about my own doings? You know, it's hypocritical. Or you want to have a fulfilling relationship with a significant other. That's not going to happen if you don't work on yourself. If you don't, it might happen for a little while, but your partner is going to get really tired of you if you aren't working on yourself constantly. Not even constantly. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's really just about wanting to become better. And when you give yourself a target, when you classify what success is in your head, it makes it a lot easier to get there. Okay, and that's really the point that I wanted to make today. That I would recommend for anyone listening to this podcast, and I'm going to do this myself. I already do it myself. Just to take 5 minutes and write down. It's not, you don't have to write a very specific goal, but just write down what you want, what you determine as success. You know, this week, this year, you know, the next 5 years, 10 years, and then lifetime. Like, what am I ultimately after with my life? You know, it just brought me so much clarity on what I need to be doing with my time, where I need to be spending my energy, and clarity is powerful. Like I said, when you define your success, it gives you a clear path to that success. Maybe not even that even. It doesn't give you a perfectly clear path, but it lets you know where you need to be going towards. You know what I mean, Jared?
Yeah, definitely. Man, you're literally preaching to me right now. I mean, like, I was just writing some of the stuff that the highlights of what you were saying. Never stop hustling towards your goals is what I always, when I wouldn't say coach, but when kids come up to me, or college students come up to me, and they're like, you know, like, how do you just keep going? How do you keep going? And you know, you never stop hustling towards your goals. Like what you were saying, you know, look at the end goal of what you want. And one of the things that I thought of was, if you're not making mistakes, you're doing them wrong.
Yeah, you're not pushing yourself.
You're not pushing yourself. You learn from your mistakes, and that's how you grow, and that's how you keep pushing. And I liked what you said. Growth doesn't happen overnight. That's one of the things I struggle with, Mike. It really does. Growth doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. I mean, it takes at least 5 years for a business to become successful.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes it's hard for my mind to wrap around that. You know, growth doesn't happen overnight, and you have to keep hustling.
Well, think about this, Jared.
People,
Real quick,
yeah.
Gosh, I'm messing up my words here. Snapchat, within 4
Yeah.
years, the only reason I remember this so easily is within 4 years, they were worth $4 billion, okay?
Yep.
So, and the only reason I know this, and you probably know it too, because I've studied it, our generation and any new generation wants success overnight because we've seen it happen, you know?
Yep.
But that's not realistic. I mean, yeah, some people are going to get filthy rich from Snapchat's an invention, you know? It's no different. Some of the wealthiest or the quickest ways to wealth are inventing, starting a crazy business. That's just unique. You know what I mean? Do you agree?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like our entire society has been, I would honestly say, you know, has been brainwashed a little bit to where it's like, oh yeah, success can happen anytime. You can be an influencer, you can be, and yeah, you can do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but it
go
takes
for
hard
it.
work. It takes
Yep.
time, and people have to understand that, you know. And one of the things you said, one of the things that I hear all the time is fake it till you make it, and I don't agree with that. I think you need to hustle till you make it.
Yep. Which, you know what? I'll give you my 2 cents on that. I've said fake it till you make it a lot, and the reason why I still kind of believe in that is, you know, one of my good buddies, Joshua Gillow, he taught me ready, fire, aim. Okay, instead, you know, it just, you can't have plans for everything, and sometimes just the fact that you can believe in yourself is enough to accomplish something. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I've definitely faked it till I made it in a few senses, like in my business. But
sure.
You know, I get what you're saying though, because someone that is willing to fake it till they make it is confident in themselves, and more than likely they're also a hustler. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I agree with you. Grit is probably the most important. You know, just being able to get up and go. You know, just get punched down 1,000 times and just keep getting up. And that's kind of all the same, in my opinion. I mean, very, very similar. But
I mean, I guess I probably did the poor choice of words there. But
no, dude, don't worry about it.
Because I do it all the time. I used to do it all the time. You know, my first website deal that I got, I didn't know how to do a website. So I literally spent hours researching and figuring out how to do things. And then I got connected with a good friend of mine, and he taught me how to do everything. And you know, it worked out with connections. But
like, just to speech off of that, I was just gonna say, I've grown a $2 million a year landscaping company off of a business administration degree. I don't have any background other than working with equipment in high school that led me to be great at what I do. And I'm not even claiming to be great. YouTube, same thing. We've learned so much from that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You just can't get too overwhelmed. But no, I think that's mostly everything I had to say tonight. I guess I kind of wanted to end with I just want to paint something in our listeners' heads. So imagine the worst thing possible happens in 30 seconds, okay? Wherever you're listening to this podcast, all of a sudden your chest gets heavy and your heart starts to beat really fast and you lose consciousness, and next thing you know, you wake up in a hospital bed and there's a doctor around you, your family's laying around you, and you open your eyes but you can't say anything. You know, like your mouth doesn't work. You can see, you can hear your family members. Oh my gosh, she's awake. But then you hear them like crying in the hallway, and then you hear the doctor come in and let your family know what's going on, and you hear the doctor say, yeah, he's not going to make it very long, or she's not going to make it really long. This is catastrophic. This is going to, take your loved one's life. And you're just sitting there and you're conscious, but you can't talk. You can hear, you can see. What thoughts are going through your head right now? What would you have done differently? What would you have done differently for yourself? Maybe what would you have done for others? What things would you maybe have said to people that you didn't say because you were uncomfortable? It's a really sad thing to think about, but some of the most motivated and down-to-earth people are people that have went through events like this and then came back to life. They saw their life in front of their eyes and they were like, oh my God, I was taking it for granted, or I wasn't doing what I should be, or I wasn't treating the people in my life that care about me the way I should be. And it's just a magnificent thing to consider. And that's really all I have for today, Jared. I mean, I really hope this episode can make some people think about what they should be doing in their life to get the most out of life. I tell you what, keep listening to this podcast, because I'm going to do everything I can to help people. Not saying I'm perfect. I'm nowhere near perfect. I don't even know if I should be doing this podcast, but I'm passionate about it, and I can't wait to motivate people and help people get more out of their own life. And so use this podcast, use other content, do whatever you can to work on self-improvement, to keep yourself motivated, to get the most out of life, because that's all we got, folks. That's all we got. Jared, you got anything else to say, man?
No, man, this was great. Episode number 2, guys. Keep listening. We appreciate you, all the views and the support so far that you've given Mike on the Facebook page. Again, those that are new, check out the Facebook page, The Michael Maloney Show, and tune in every Wednesday. We release new episodes every Wednesday at 6 a.m. Thanks, guys, and have a great rest of your day.
Heck yeah. No, hey, thanks for coming on again tonight, Jared. It was a blessing to be able to get on here and record some good content. Like Jared said, please do us a favor. My goal, seriously, is to impact as many people as I can in my life. Please do me a favor. Share this on your Facebook. Like our page on YouTube. Anything you can do. Tell your coworkers, hey, The Michael Maloney Show, go check it out. It'll change your life. Please, just anything you can do. We greatly appreciate it. But other than that, looking forward to next week. I hope everyone makes the week great. We'll talk to you later. God bless.